It was the kind of Saturday morning that made you believe in silence again. Just the soft hiss of wind through branches, the creak of joggers' shoes on gravel, and the occasional bark of a happy dog tugging at its leash. Willow Grove Park was that kind of place. Unassuming. Clean. Quiet. But sometimes, silence doesn't mean peace, it means ignorance waiting to be shattered. Miles Booker had walked that path every weekend for the last 4 months. Same routine. Same leash. Same old Labrador named Juno, who didn't care for drama, only squirrels and muddy grass. Dressed in joggers and a zipped-up hoodie, Miles kept his headphones low and his head down. At 37, he knew exactly how the world could see a black man walking alone. Especially in a suburb like Eastfield. Especially with no ID on him. Especially with a dog that looked too expensive to be his. This morning should have been like the others. It nearly was. Until the man with the phone appeared. He was maybe 50, balding, red fleece zipped to his chin, standing on the edge of the trail like he'd been waiting. Juno stopped to sniff a tree, and that's when Miles saw the man watching. Not just watching, filming. Miles took one earbud out. "Everything all right?" The man didn't answer right away. He angled his phone deliberately. "I've called the police," he said. Miles blinked. "I'm sorry, what?" "You don't belong here," the man said, still filming. "We've had break-ins in this neighborhood." Miles stood still. The leash in his hand felt heavier. "I'm walking my dog." "You're casing houses," the man said flatly. "I've seen you here before." Miles laughed once, not because it was funny, but because it was always this absurd. "I live 5 blocks away," he said. "I'm a civil rights attorney." The man smirked. "Sure you are." And just like that, the air shifted. The wind kept blowing. The joggers kept running. But everything felt wrong. Miles looked around. People were starting to notice, but no one stepped in. 5 minutes later, 2 police cruisers pulled up beside the park trail. 2 police cruisers rolled to a quiet stop near the trailhead. Their sirens were off, but the lights spun, blue and red bouncing off the leaves and the faces of people who suddenly found ways to become busy elsewhere. Joggers turned their backs. A woman with a stroller made an exaggerated loop. The man in the red fleece stood taller now, like he had summoned the cavalry. Miles stayed perfectly still. Juno sat beside him, tongue out, wagging, unaware of the shift in the atmosphere. Miles put the leash in one hand and pulled down his hoodie with the other. "Always make your hands visible. Always lower your hood." He had this routine memorized. The taller of the 2 officers, Officer Renner, according to the badge, stepped out first. He was white, mid-40s, and his eyes immediately narrowed as he scanned the scene. The second officer, younger, maybe Latino, hung back, hand resting on his belt. "What's the issue here?" Renner asked, looking not at Miles, but at the red fleece man. "This guy's been circling the neighborhood." "Same route, over and over," the man said, stepping closer to the officers, as if he were part of their team. "I thought he might be scoping houses. Figured you'd want to check it out." Renner turned to Miles. "Is that true?" Miles raised an eyebrow. "I walk my dog here. Every weekend. Sometimes before work, too." "Do you live nearby?" "Yes. 5 blocks away. On Marlowe Drive." "Can I see ID?" "I didn't bring my wallet. I'm not carrying a weapon. I'm walking my dog." Renner exhaled through his nose. "So, no ID." Miles kept his voice even. "Are you detaining me?" Renner didn't answer right away. The second officer glanced at him. There was a hesitation, a moment where things could tip either way. "Do you have anything in your pockets?" Renner asked instead. Miles opened his hands. Empty. Phone. Dog treats. A roll of waste bags. "You want to check them?" Renner stepped forward. "We received a call about suspicious activity. Just doing our job." The man in red folded his arms, smug now. "You're lucky we didn't call last time you came through here." Miles turned to him. "Lucky," he repeated. "Is that what this is to you? A game of chance?" "I'm protecting my neighborhood," the man replied, looking past Miles now. "You fit the description." Miles could feel heat rising in his chest, not anger, exactly, but shame. The kind of shame that wasn't his, but that always got laid at his feet anyway. Renner circled slowly, like he was waiting for something, one wrong word, one twitch, one flinch. But there was nothing. Miles had stood in courtrooms with more pressure than this. He'd argued in front of judges who wanted him gone the second he opened his mouth. But none of that mattered here. Because in this moment, in this park, he wasn't a lawyer. He wasn't a homeowner. He was just a black man with a dog, and somehow that made him suspicious.